Hey there, Wargamers, Justin and Painter, and today let's talk about doing antennas. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in, and if you're new here, hit that like and subscribe. If you are a returning viewer, also smash that like button like you're trying to hit that alpha strike, like you're trying to blow up that enemy mech, but let's take that energy, let's take all that focus, let's help the channel grow. That being said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So today, I saw a comment posted in the Death Designs Discord, and someone asked about doing antennas. So I want to talk about what I do and help you guys out a little bit. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying these are metal ones, and if you jam your finger, you could potentially prick. It's not the end of the world, but you could. I did used to use some bristles. I bought this whole brush because that's a whole lot of antennas, right? The problem with this is that these bristles can be bent and they can be broken. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So let me pop one off here. All right. And this is a very long bristle, but when it goes into your case, it can get crimped like this. So that's bending in half, right? All right, and then you can crimp it. This is an extreme exaggeration of what can happen, but that is now a crimped, what would be, antenna. Now that's assuming that if this was affixed to your Mini, that actually stayed affixed and didn't come off, right? So that's why I don't like this. Now I'll show you a good example of where this happened onto my Highlander here. You can see a little bit that there is one antenna, or excuse me, two antennas, but there was one on this side. It's completely gone. Broke right off, got bent, kept flopping, kept being reglued. Could not get it to stay. I also have a couple other models that I used this method for, and same kind of problem happened where, sorry, a little hair there. Same kind of problem happened where the antennas would get bent or broken and had to be replaced constantly. This, not so much. You may have to repaint it from time to time because it is metal, but it's much more durable, and that's why I like this. So what do I use to achieve this? So let's go over a few products that I will use. First and foremost, one of the obvious ones is going to be some super glue. So I've got super glue, and I like getting these little extender nozzles. This one's really, really thin, and it's going to allow for you to get a much more fine placement of super glue, and I like that. So jam that on there, boom. And what's going to happen is, if we can get that on there to where it doesn't come off. Oh, so it seems like our super glue is a little bit clogged. Let's get in here. There we go. Still a little, I could hear it. The glue came up to the top, but okay. Alright, so there we go. Much better flow there. Okay, so that is on. Next up, for things that we will use, I have got a set of bits here that I use from Army Painter. I can read this. And we use the smallest one. So we got some bits for drilling barrels and so forth. We've got a pin vise or hand drill. And I've got a pair of snips that I don't care if I mess them up. These are not my standard hobby snips. These are replaceable ones, and they use them for stuff like this where they might get damaged. And then I've got this here, and this is where things come together. This is the music wire, the .020 music wire, 5499 from K&S Precision Metals. This is in the United States. If you are European, you might find something similar, but I picked this up off Amazon. It was not very expensive, and you get a lot of it. There's, let's see, I've got, I don't know, what are they, like 4 strands there, 5 strands there? I mean, I've used some, you know, so, and it doesn't take a whole lot to do this. Oh, that just broke. It doesn't take a whole lot to do this. We'll use that as our starting part. But that is what we got. So, to achieve what we're going to do here, first thing that I would do, let's get our bit ready. Try and do this on camera without spilling these everywhere. And of course we are going to spill them everywhere. The one we want is the small one. Let's just do like that. There we go. It's the small one on the bottom. It also likes to jump track. So let's use our snips and gently, just want to put enough pressure to pick that up. Close. And be very careful if you do pick these up. This thing is super duper small and very easy to lose. Very easy to lose, but it's the smallest bit that is in that set. And it went in kind of cockeyed. We want that to remain straight. This isn't my best pin vise here. There we go. I think we got that. Okay. Cool. So nice and straight and in there. So that's set up. And the next thing we need is our mini. What do we want to affix an antenna to? Let's try an urban mech. So this one's a good test piece because I'm not too worried about damaging it. It's an urban mech. In the photos for this, it's got antennas coming out of these, which these are kind of fine, but maybe we want to have extended antennas. So we'll use our little bit. And we're just going to drill in here very carefully. And we're going to try and keep a consistent angle. Do the best. Oh, and there we go. We've messed it up. Let's snip these and get them flush. It'll be a little easier. And we'll just have him as being pure antennas. So we'll trim that a little bit. Boop, boop, boop. Sorry, Urban Mech. You're getting a facelift. We want realistic antennas. So there we go. And that could probably use a little bit more cleanup, but for the sake of brevity, I'm going to try and chug on through here. Man, this is one of the, I say I'm going to chug on through and it's bugging me. This is one of the things with the new plastics that are kind of annoying. I snipped that and went to trim it, and it doesn't trim like normal plastic. It's a little bit irritating. Alright, so now we're going to come in and let's move our microphone here. We're going to try and get a consistent bead here and drill straight down in. It's a little bit easier because the once you snip it, because the little housing that he did have, I've got another Urban Mech here as an example. It's got little dimples, but the drill bit, even though it's still small enough, like eventually just kind of tears and breaks through. So it's a little easier to do it this way. So just make sure we got that deep, and that looks like that is plenty deep. And then we'll come over here and we're going to try and do the same thing. And what we're doing, I tried to keep the mini at the same angle relative to me, and the bit at the same angle, and I'm coming in kind of at an angle, and I'm going to level it out once we get going. And this might not be perfect. Me trying to do this on camera at an angle is not the easiest thing to do. I'll come back here, check it out. Sorry, I knew I just blew into the mic. Alright, so we've got two little holes here. So now I will come in and I will funnel our super glue, and I'll put a little dribble down into that hole. Okay, and then I will take our music wire and I will push that into the hole. And then I will get an angle that I like. You can bend this a little bit. You got a little play, but I'll get an angle that I reasonably like. That's in there. And then I will grab a little piece of paper towel if I've got one, and and we'll take this and I'll roll it like that, and I'll kind of sop up that super glue because we don't want it to dry with like a bead there, right? We don't want a big chunk. We just want it to have an antenna. So we'll give that a moment, let that set, and for the sake of this video, we're going to take another little piece here. You could use that one, but we're going to use a second piece here. We're just going to snip that off. Okay. We're going to snip that off. I thought I had a good grip on it, and it slipped out of my fingers. So when you do this, be careful. Well, that one's not wanting to snip. There we go. Alright, that stuff does like to bounce. I'm not sure where the other one went. It's probably, I heard it rattle across my desk. It's probably behind some of these minis here. But whatever. Alright, so same kind of process. We'll come in here, put a little dribble of some glue. There we go. And come in here, grab our other one. I usually do try and do these quickly because I want to have try and get the angles on both of them set at the same time. So that one went in kind of sideways. We're going to grab our snips just to apply pressure, and we'll push that down in there. Okay. You can see I kind of messed up his back there because I slipped with the drill bit. But now you can see it's kind of an angle, so we're going to adjust this and kind of get the angle similar to the other one. Okay, and let's push up that one a little bit. Alright, so those look roughly in line. And now all we got to do is we got to come in and determine, actually that one looks a little bit higher, determine roughly how much antenna we want. And I think In this case, I think that's probably a pretty good amount right there. That seems good. All right, so we'll grab right here. And I don't recommend putting your finger directly on the top. We're going to pinch, and again, this is awkward doing it on camera. These have a tendency to fly across the room. And if you've got access to better tools, you may be able to get a cleaner cut than what I'm able to get with these snips. They're giving me some trouble here. But we've got that right pinched, so I think this one's going to do it. Well, I thought it was going to do it. I was wrong. Let's go further down. There we go. There we go. Okay. And I usually like to save these little bits because you can use them. Whoops. Use them for your other minis. So let's set that off to the side. Okay. And we'll get this one, and we're going to try as best we can to get a similar length. Remember, you can always remove more material, but you can't go back and add more. So start off, if you're concerned, removing less, and you can come in and remove a little bit more later if you need to. But I think we got that pretty close. And again, be careful when you do those snips because that can jump and these can poke you. These are going to be a little sharp. Going to be a little pointy. But there you go. Got some antennas on it that look a little bit better than that one. And once they're painted, they're going to be very obvious. I usually do black. I like the little white tips. You could do something like that on the Irby. And once there's paint on it, I feel that it tones down the sharpness just a little bit too. So, but that said, that is how I tackle doing antennas on my mechs now, instead of using the bristles, mostly because I find this to be more durable. Like, those aren't going anywhere. Worst case scenario, prick a finger, which might suck, but you know what is worse? Breaking details you worked on your mini, and you're very unlikely to break those antennas off, especially if you got a nice deep seat on them. So, as a quick recap, zoom out here. Pick your mini that you would like to apply your antennas to. In this case, with an urban mech, a lot of these mechs already have dimples in them. It's like this guy had little dimples up here. You can bore them out and put your antennas in. You'll need some bits. I really like the Army Painter ones. And if you're using the 020 music wire from Amazon, from K&S Precision Metals, I got it off Amazon, the smallest bit here works great for that. You need a pin vise, some snips, a little bit of super glue, and maybe an X-Acto blade for some cleanup. Then on a note, hopefully that helps you guys. If you enjoyed this little hobby tip, little intro into how I achieve things, make sure you sound off in the comments below. Let me know about your hobby projects. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, if you're looking to support what I do, check out Fortress Miniatures and Games, a sponsor of the channel. And we've got some links down below to pick up some paints from Pro Acrylic, and last but not least, Death or Designs, my day job. So if you're looking to pick up some minis, some terrain, anything at all from them, that helps directly support what I do. On that note, you guys know what time it is, because if I don't sign off, I'll continue to ramble. So we're at that time of the video. As always, thank you again for hanging out. Keep painting your models, keep rolling those dice, and I will catch you guys next time.